They're so far off, she has no clue. How about allowing people to come to an open border, and they're now happily living in the United States? You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes.
Ever wondered what happens when you mix racism, bad science, and a presidential campaign? Stephen Colbert's got the answer, and it's as ridiculous as Trump's hair in a wind tunnel. Has Trump ever imagined what a migrant looks like when he's angry? Someone who isn't your run-of-the-mill seeker of a better life is involved. Actually, in Trump's universe, there's a unique genetic trait that says, bad hombres. The catch, though, is that every time he passes a mirror, his high-tech migrant detector goes off. My mistake. The Make America Great Again message somehow missed someone's DNA. Imagine this, a hilariously large magnifying glass in Trump's hands, accompanied by an oversized lab coat that is 2 sizes too small. So far, he has dubbed it the Trumpian Migrant Detector 3000.
And there were some signs it was going to be a bit of a bad one. Once Trump started talking, it got real racist real fast. In the middle of dinner, an anchor baby bursts through John Hurt's stomach and hides somewhere on the ship, and everybody starts getting killed.
You would expect it to flash and sound an alarm if it detects those annoying bad genes. But once Trump brings it up in his own name, it goes really crazy. A solo concert of genetic denial, complete with flashing red lights and screaming sirens. Now let's discuss the figures. Trump, ever the grouch, says 13,000 killers are sneaking across the border. That is an incredibly precise figure. How did he come up with that? His reliable criminal report, naturally. As if looking at a taco could somehow increase crime rates, it's a masterwork of false information. The true gateway drug is guacamole. Who knew? But hold on a second. According to Trump's warped reasoning, the true hereditary sin is consuming an excessive amount of fast food. Ironic given his widely recognized fondness for KFC and Big Macs. Perhaps his fixation on bad genes stems from his tendency to blame others for his own obesity. I'm not bad, it's those migrants bringing in their quinoa and avocado toast. The Trump vision of America is beginning to resemble, if we're talking about cuisine, a rather tasteless potluck. A sea of orange-faced people eating hamburgers with no seasoning or taste. But I have an idea. If variety is the spice of life, then Trump's genetic paradise is as interesting as a plate of bland mashed potatoes. Trump has also made assertions about his own genetic makeup. Take note of his boasting about his very good genes. Remember that. He seems to believe that DNA is like a golf score. A lower score equals better. If heredity were truly so straightforward though, wouldn't everyone be wearing scorecards? Excuse me, sir, your genetic handicap is shown.
And we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now. They had 425,000 people, 13,000 of which were murderers. Many of them murdered far more than one person.
At first glance, Trump's fixation on racehorses may appear to be nothing more than a harmless genetic rodeo. In reality, what is the connection between Trump's immigration policies and racehorses? Just a hint, it's not limited to horse manure. Brace yourself for the inevitable derailment that this hypothesis will inevitably encounter. You have arrived at the Trump Derby, a place where pretzel logic reigns supreme as orange horses gallop through the arena. A number of horses sporting Trump masks are circling the track, each one asserting that it possesses the best genes. Attempting to win the Kentucky Derby while observing a group of Cheetos with legs is like witnessing a circus. But hold on a second, regular horses aren't enough for Trump. Yes, he does want horses with extraordinary abilities, equines that have extremely good genes, the best genes. Imagine a horse neighing as it prepares to construct a barrier around the track, while donning a small MAGA hat. It's the type of thoroughbred that Trump is seeking.
They're so far off, she has no clue. How about allowing people to come to an open border, and they're now happily living in the United States? You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes.
We may now discuss Trump's ostentatious superior genes detector. Somewhat resembling a television control panel, it bears the mark of a high-tech device bearing the name Trump inscribed in Sharpie. It always acts erratically whenever it approaches something even slightly diversified or accepting. It resembles a disco ball in convulsions, what with all the beeping and flashing and dancing around. But here's the interesting part. When Trump directs this genetic brilliance detector towards himself, it doesn't only go off. It bursts into a flurry of golden confetti and plays a tiny rendition of Hail to the Chief. What a flawed system. It should be remembered that Trump was highly preoccupied with the racehorse theory of genetics. Grumpy Trumpy claims that people are similar to racehorses. You get, well, him when you cross the best of breeds. He seems to believe that DNA is like a golf score. A lower score equals better. If heredity were truly so straightforward though, wouldn't everyone be wearing scorecards?
And you know, one of the worst stats, 325,000 young children are missing.
So this whole hideous episode started because someone lost something and blamed it on immigrants.
Excuse me, sir, your genetic handicap is showing. According to Trump's warped reasoning, the true hereditary sin is consuming an excessive amount of fast food. Ironic, given his widely recognized fondness for KFC and Big Macs. Perhaps his fixation on bad genes stems from his tendency to blame others for his own obesity. I'm not bad, it's those migrants bringing in their quinoa and avocado toast. Furthermore, I would like to discuss Trump's ideal America. A very boring potluck is beginning to emerge as the most likely outcome. A sea of orange-faced people eating hamburgers with no seasoning or taste. But I have an idea. If variety is the spice of life, then Trump's genetic paradise is as interesting as a plate of bland mashed potatoes. But hold on a second, there are more than horses at Trump's genetic Kentucky Derby. It's a veritable spectacle. A ringmaster with a terrible comb-over yells fake news whenever any piece of evidence tries to make its way into the tent, while acrobats posing as scientists engage in mental acrobatics to rationalize discriminatory policies. Have you ever pondered the potential outcome if real science were to confront Trump's DNA delusions? Now is the moment for Genetic Jeopardy, the game where the truth always wins. Do you think Orange Turd's outlandish assertions will hold up under scrutiny, or will they fade away as quickly as his hairline? The players on Genetic Jeopardy are here to test their knowledge of the truth and dispel Trump's genetic fancies. Who will be competing today?
Trump wasn't just Revenant? What is it? Revenant? Alien? They're climbing through your windows. No, folks, they're climbing through your windows. They're leaping out of their slimy eggs, latching onto your fellow astronauts' faces.
The world as it really is, supported by inconvenient facts and evidence, as opposed to Trump's fantasies, which are driven by conspiracy theories and hamburgers. I propose we begin with migrant madness for 500, Alex. The explanation. According to Trump, this many murderers are crossing the border. Trump, one of the contestants, confidently asks, "What is 13,000, Alex?" Apologies, but that's wrong. What is a number Trump pulled out of his very stable genius brain is the right response? Donnie Diapers, you were unsuccessful this time. Now let's go to Crime and Punishment page 1000. The explanation, studies show that immigration leads to this effect on crime rates. A small hand smacks down on the buzzer and Trump yells out, "What is a huge increase, believe me." Oh no, once again, you're incorrect, Trumpy. What is a decrease or no significant change is the right response. It appears that someone has been consuming an excessive amount of Fox News content while neglecting all other forms of media. But hold on a second, a surprising turn of events is that we will be calling in experts as witnesses. We don't mean Trump's inner circle of advisors when we say expert though. We mean real scientists, with a PowerPoint presentation that would enchant even the most diehard statistics nerd and a pile of peer-reviewed studies. Dr. Factual McMathface takes the stand. As Dr. Mathface begins to spew actual statistics regarding crime rates and immigration, Trump's visage takes on an orange hue that science has never seen before. But how can we possibly get these annoying facts through to Trump's factiverse brain? Rest assured, we have alternatives. Well, let's start with skywriting. Imagine the Mar-a-Lago skyline splashed with the words, "Immigrants commit less crime," in letters so large that not even Trump could miss them. The next thing we know, scrolls containing real crime figures are being delivered by carrier pigeons donning small MAGA caps. The performance culminates with a mime ensemble performing a graph depicting the inverse correlation between immigration and crime rates. It's more like a documentary than a silent film with less prejudice and more facts. The evidence mounts, and Trump's gene detector begins to smoke. Even the most cutting-edge Trump technology is no match for the truth, and it's working around the clock to try to twist these facts into something else.
They really lose the thread of the story in Covenant. What's Danny McBride doing there? Until Sigourney Weaver saves the day in her teeny tiny underpants, then...
The machine was helpless in the face of the deluge of real data. A last-ditch effort to avoid embarrassment, Trump resorts to his racehorse theory of heredity. Curious, but what is this? The conversation has welcomed a real geneticist. Dr. Jean Splicer is about to loose her lab coat from laughing so hard after seeing Trump's claim. "Mr. Trump," she says with a wheeze interspersed with giggles, "people aren't horses, and that's just not how evolution works." Who can debunk your theories the quickest? That's the only competition here. With the last buzzer sounded, the scoreboard displays the outcome. This is the reality. 1,273,15. Yes, that's 0. Is Trump's genetic fantasy. Indeed, Trump's fact-resistant brain is the one location where poor genes exist.